farm friends, this is Stacy and that's Jessie. We are working on our pastured poultry structures this morning as it is time for the meat birds to get out of the brooder and get out on pasture. These structures are not fancy at all. They are made just with rough sawn lumber that we've milled here and chicken wire. You can use hardware cloth. You can use any type of wire that you desire. The smaller the holes, the better for predator control. We actually keep ours inside the electric fence of the pasture, so that helps as well. And generally, you would have metal roofing on the top. What kind of metal? Not aluminum is the best kind. However, with prices being what they are and availability of aluminum roofing in this area, we are going with tarps, which we did last year, and they'll be just fine because they really only have to last about 5 more weeks, 5 to 6 weeks, if that. Right? Last year we purchased these bell waterers, and although they are a little finicky to begin with, once you figure them out, they actually worked very well. They keep the water clean and allow you to fill water from outside the chicken tractors. So we think they're a win. Next year we'll probably buy a few more. For these bell waterers, you drill a hole in a bucket. And there's a little hose that comes with the waterer, and that goes into the hole with part of the hose sticking into the bucket to capture the water. With these bell waterers, the 5-gallon bucket stays on the outside of the chicken tractor. You fill it with water, makes life easy, and then the water goes through the hose to the top of the waterer and just kind of dribbles down. This is the finicky part. You have to get the settings just right. And once you get that figured out, though, they have a supply of fresh, clean water. They can't really get in it and play in it. Can't really spill it. If they overcrowd it, they can definitely tip it and spill it that way, but hopefully you would not have enough chickens in your chicken tractor to have that happen. The bell waterers are set with a weight regulator, so they're designed when the bottom tray fills up with a specific amount of water. You know, it's a specific weight, and then it stops dribbling down the side. Just have to be patient.
Fairly optimistic.
Yes, you have to be patient. It looks like the dribble line is getting a little less. Looks like it's stopping me. Still a line. Looky there, for all you doubting Thomases thought it was going to overflow. Just like that. I don't know how it works. I'm not that girl, but somebody out there knows how it works.
Spring.
A spring? A spring. Jessie says a spring. What's that part? Oh, is that the regulator?
Spring. So when it doesn't have water in the bottom, this is pushing on there down so the water drips out. Goes into a circle on the inside, a little channel on the inside, and then drips down. And then when this gets heavy enough, it pushes down on the bell this doesn't have the bell pushing on it anymore, it pulls it down, shuts the water off, so then there's no water. And then a few chickens drink and it lightens up a little bit, and then it drips water. Plus I have it below.
Cool.
Still air in the lines right now.
Right. But just to explain to people, and what's the only thing we found last year? That little filter, right? That's the little
These
filter.
clog up was, wind blows debris into the water, or if it gets a little bit of algae growing in there or whatever. So you just have to make sure that, check this every couple days and
Right.
clean it out.
Right, because if you don't check it and you just assume it's going to work and walk away, your chickens could be without water for a whole day, and you could come back to a bunch of dead chickens. And you don't really want that to happen. So there you have it. We have moved all of the current chickens and turkeys out of the brooder and into their shelters on pasture. So what does this actually mean for the chickens and turkeys? There are some pretty significant changes that happen when you bring your birds out onto pasture. Firstly, what they used to have was a temperature-controlled environment in the barn. They did have fresh air, but no bugs, no grass, no breezes, and that was because they didn't have enough feathers and they can't regulate their own temperature. So we have to do what's best for them to keep them warm. Now that they're older, they're bigger, they're fully feathered out, we can bring them outside. They can have the fresh breeze, they can have grass, they can have bugs, sunshine. And that leads me to another change, their food. You can see them eating grain right now that we do scatter on the pasture, but they've gone from having all natural grain 24/7 to now they'll be only supplemented with grain twice a day, and the rest of their food they will get from the clover and the grasses and the bugs on the pasture. They'll be able to forage. And every day we move the chicken tractors to a new spot. So every morning they get fresh grass. As you can see, the way that the chicken tractors are built, we have shade and protection from rain and sun on half of the chicken tractor. And we also have them setting where they'll get the most protection from the sun. There's plenty of room, so if it does rain or it's hot, they can get under the shade and still be quite comfortable. I don't know about you, but I can only imagine if I were a chicken, this is the way that I would want to live. They sound pretty happy, don't you think? Alrighty, well, Jesse's buttoning up the fence that we took down to get these chicken tractors in here and set up. They are now all set up. We're gonna just button up a few things, do a couple chores, and then we have a little 4th of July celebration to get to. So thanks for joining us at Haven Acres today. We hope you have a great 4th of July weekend. Thank you for all who have fought for our freedoms and continue to do so. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time.